还真是个冷静的小鬼。我还
下次我一定会努力怀上的。
是你？哼！
A boy eats a Cupid's cake and becomes the harem king of his university. Hello, and welcome to back our channel Ice Guy. Today we are going to do a recap of the anime series called Cupid's Chocolate. Cupid's Chocolates is a heavily animesque Chinese animated series about a college student named Zhang Hai, whose life turns upside down when three female students from his university, Xia Zedong, Tang Xuan, and Ling Yuan, each claim they are his girlfriend. Episode 1. The episode opens up on a 19-year-old boy, Zhang Hai. He says that he is living a very normal life. He doesn't have any scholarships and no one notices him as he is not so popular in the university. But he likes it this way. While thinking all of this, Zhang Hui enters his university, walks to his classroom, and sits down to look forward to another boring day. Soon the teacher enters the class and starts the lecture when suddenly a beautiful girl walks in. Xia Zedong is the most popular girl at the university, and everyone pays attention to her. She proceeds toward Zhang Hai. She holds his hand, and while Zhang Hai was confused because of what was happening, Xia Zedong tells him that she's 3 months pregnant with his child. Zhang Hai freezes in shock while others start taking pictures and posting them online. Zhang Hai tries to convince others that he doesn't even know the girl, but everyone starts cursing him and makes him run away to save himself. Soon, this news starts to spread throughout the school. While avoiding everyone, Hai looks at Xia Zedong. Xia says to Hai that their child said to her that he has small legs so he can't run. Hai starts to panic, but soon, the school announces to catch Zhang Hai and all students rush to find him. Hai says to Xia Zedong that they should split up. He tells her to meet him on the rooftop. From there they split up, and everyone starts to chase Hai around the school. After running for a while, Hai picks up a broom and beats the students who were following him. He says that he doesn't want to do this, but he had no other choice left. Suddenly a hand comes and drags Hai into the women's washroom. As Hai was scared and collecting his thoughts, someone kicks the football right into Hai's face, and Hai looks up. It was the president of the school's athletes club, Tang Xuan, along with her club members. She bullies boys if they dare to tease any female on campus. Hai was scared of what she will do to him, but surprisingly, she also declares Zhang Hai as her lover and asks for an explanation about Xia Zedong. Zhang Hai rushes away from her and runs into Lin Yuan, who calls herself Zhang Hai's wife and the mother of his 2 children. By this point, Zhang Hai has lost his senses and speeds towards the terrace. He tells everyone that he doesn't even know any of those girls and he will jump off the building to prove himself innocent. No one believes him and Zhang Hai falls, but suddenly a light shines from the sky and stops time. He reaches the ground safely and meets the love goddess Maytada. She tells him that the cake Zhang Hai ate the day before was Cupid's chocolate, which caused the girls to assume a love story with him.
拦住我！不是吧？
Episode 2. Hai in fear asks her if there was any way to fix this problem, and Cupid says to Hai that the only way to fix this misunderstanding is by fulfilling the girl's deepest desires. At first, Hai was hesitant, but because he wants to get out of this situation as soon as possible, Hai reluctantly agrees to obey May and decides to start his quest of fixing the misunderstandings with Xia. Hai goes back to the rooftop after seeing that everyone has left, but here he finds Xia, who was crying for him. Xia thought that Hai is dead, and she also wants to jump off the building, but Hai stops her. Hai comforts Xia, and they decide to go to the hospital to confirm the fact that Xia is not expecting Hai's child. The two take the test at the hospital, and it gets confirmed that Xia is not expecting a child, but she surprisingly leaves Hai dumbfounded, as right after she gets the news, she apologizes to Hai and says that she promises to try her best from now on. Meanwhile, Hai proceeds with his plan to sort out the matter, so he visits Xia's home. Here Hai finds something shocking. He finally realizes that Xia is not only the princess of her university, but even in real life she was a princess. Because it turns out that Xia lives in a palace that has every facility provided by her father. But soon Hai realizes that Xia's real desire is to just spend time with her father since she's not able to even have a simple dinner with him due to his work. So Hai decides to cause a commotion and anger Xiao's father on the phone. Episode 3. Just after a few minutes, Mr. Xia comes over with several cars and helicopters following him. Heiai looks at Mr. Zia and thinks that he has a very scary aura. Mr. Zia looks at Heiai and says that he has a lot of guts. Mr. Zia says to his men to put their guns down, and Heiai thinks that he is safe, but Mr. Zia then tells his guards to just beat him up. Soon Zia Zidong stops her dad and tells him that it's just a misunderstanding while showing the hospital report. Mr. Zia wonders why Heiai made all this fuss. Jiang Heiai gets angry at him and says that Mr. Zia wouldn't have bothered to come to see her daughter if there wasn't a big issue. Heiai says to Mr. Zia that Zia Zidong doesn't need a huge house or thousands of servants. This is not her happiness. Her happiness lies in just having a simple meal with her dad. Everyone was touched by Heiai's speech, and soon Jiang Heiai runs after saying this, but his words touch Mr. Zia's heart and he arranges a dinner with her daughter. Soon Zia Zidong catches up with Heiai. Heiai in surprise asks her that can she run as fast as him. Zia Zidong says to Heiai that she cannot, and she was able to reach up to him because the place where he was standing was the backside of her house. As Zia Zidong thanks Heiai and was about to kiss him, she disappears and Cupid appears there. Meitada informs Heiai that he succeeded in his first task and the magic from Zidong is lifted now. But soon Heiai is again approached by Zia Zidong, and she asks him to go on a date with her. Heiai in confusion asks Zia Zidong if she remembers him. Zia Zidong says that she does, and Heiai screams and calls Cupid there. Cupid tells Heiai that although the fake memories were erased, the new memories will still be there. So Zidong remembers the time she spent with Heiai the past 2 days and invites him for a date. And this time the feelings she had were real. Suddenly, another girl named Aoyang Zuli interrupts them and asks Zia Zidong at what stage were they. Zia was confused, so Zuli kisses Heiai and says to Zia that Heiai belongs to her, but soon Zuli gets hit with a purse in her face by her mom. In reality, she's Heiai's childhood friend who just came back from America, and her mom has chased after her to stop her from dating Heiai. But Zuli doesn't want to go, so she and her mother get into a fight, and eventually, her mother wins the fight.
来人，把小姐给我抬出，
还是带雪梨回美国吧。
请神容。
Episode 4. After confirming a date with Zidong, Heiai runs into Tang Chuan, who slaps his face and announces a breakup. Jiang Heiai gets angry and shouts, with the attitude that Tang Chuan nobody will never like her. Tang Chuan was hurt because of this, and she doesn't say anything, instead she just leaves. Soon Meitada comes there and asks Heiai the reason why he did this. Heiai says that he was angry because out of nowhere she gets punched in the face, and Tang Chuan announces breakup, which pissed him off. Just then Heiai thinks of something and asks Meitada if he breaks up with everyone, won't the problem will be all fixed. However, Meitada tells her that breaking up will not end the magic. Sometime later, Heiai finds Tang Chuan bullying male athletes. Even after hundreds of push-ups, she was not letting them, and she was even pouring water on them as a punishment. Heiai says to Meitada that if this goes on, someone will die. So Heiai proceeds to stop her. She tries to argue with Heiai, but Heiai says to her that it was enough, and in an attempt to stop her from pouring water on the boys, Heiai tries to snatch the pipe from Heiai, but in this attempt, he accidentally squirts water on her, but she goes away quietly. As she leaves all the boys to start to thank Heiai, one of them says that it's quite strange that Tang Chuan remains silent, and she didn't say anything because it's not her character. Meanwhile in the shower, Tang Chuan was thinking of the moment when Heiai jumped off the building. She says that Heiai doesn't know how much she loves him, but now it's over. Tang Chuan is someone who doesn't want to accept her defeat. The next day, Heiai woke up and sees the clock. He was already late. He has a date with Zia Zidong today. But as he was getting up, he saw Zuli, who was laying on top of him. She asks him if today was the weekend. Why was he in a hurry? Does he has a date? Heiai says to her that was not the case. He just wants to buy some books. Zuli says that she will bring them for him, so she locks him in his room. Zuli is still persistent in stopping Heiai from dating anyone and looks him up in his room on the day of his meeting with Zidong. However, Heiai manages to escape from the window and reaches Zia Zidong. Before meeting with Heiai, Zia Zidong was thinking about the incident that happened yesterday, about Zuli kissing Heiai and announcing that he belongs to her. She thinks that Heiai won't come today, and she thinks that she should just stop here, but at that moment Heiai comes there and apologizes for being late. Zia Zidong said to Heiai that she just got here so it was okay and that they should have something to drink. They sit down in a restaurant, but there's an awkwardness between them. It's the first date for both of them, and it's quite different from all that Heiai ever imagined. To be friendly, Heiai invites Zidong to join the anime festival happening nearby. But surprisingly, they find Tang Chuan there, cosplaying as a maid. And that's all for today, guys. If you liked the recap and want more summaries like this, consider subscribing to our channel.